All right, everybody. So you have today's packet. Let's go over the house rules. We have enough to start the class, and we'll probably have a few more trickling in. So same as it was last week, my name is Christy Stewart. I am the facilitator for tonight's course, which is going to be Money Talks. Everybody interested in money, right? Everybody like a little money, a little change in their pockets? Hey, yeah, I know that's right. What we got before you is we got our partnership with SRP. You have the SRP packets in your laps right now, and then we're just going to move to the clipboard when I'm going to talk to you later after the hour, after 7 o'clock, and then we'll talk about the curriculum, but everything SRP is going to talk to you about today is going to come out of their packet, so you'll follow along from the SRP packet. Let's go over house rules real quick. Where's the bathrooms at? I almost said over there. You could go through that classroom, go up, go through that one door on the left. The first one is the female's bathroom. The second one is the male's bathroom. Where do we take our smoke break or anything at? Outside behind the building, yes. If we got any issues, what do we do about cell phones? Where are your cell phones? In your pocket, a silent, vibrate, however it is, but they will not be distractions for tonight. What about those headphones? Where we at? Everybody join in with me. Take them off. Thank you. Why? Why do we take them off? Yes, sir. There it is. That was extra. I appreciate my doggone valedictorian right there. We want to give the utmost respect to the guest speaker who stands before us in the front, because remember, we're all volunteers that came in to help with this program and to educate and give back to our community, because that's what it's all about. Who are you for a special treat? Who are you for a door prize? Who are you? From week 1, who are you? I never change. I never change. You're going to go back to your communities and do what? Give back. Yeah, but what's the title I named you? You're an ambassador. Say it with me. I'm an ambassador of my community. Yeah. Y'all going to leave me hanging? I'm an ambassador of my community. I appreciate you. I want to know that whatever this information that we're putting before you, these resources that we stand before you and we offer, if not for you, then for someone else. Exactly. Sometimes everything ain't for us and we don't go through everything, right? What do we feel about hoodies in the classroom? Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We want to give our main attention to our guest speakers. We're going to talk about money talks this week. We're also going to talk about real estate. Who owns their own home? Who has a desire to one day own their own dirt, their own doorknob? Yes, so we have Miss Michaela and Mr. Darryl who's going to talk to us from Keller and Williams. They're going to chat with what it takes. Remember, we got it set up. If you know the stage right here, I got the banking coming in first, because what do they normally do? What do bankers do? They give money. Another word starts with an L. Come on, bring it to me. Ooh, lend. Learn, yes, loan, loan, not that L word, the other word. Lend. You need to be partners with the bank. You need to get a bank account. Who owns their own bank account? Who has a bank account? Wrong words, right? How many bank accounts you got? 1 or 2? You can have 2. 2, yeah. You don't have to have one. You got a primary, you got an alternate banking. You want banking to work for you. Who has a credit union bank account? Nice. I like that. I like that. All that's going to tie in together. But we're talking money talks and we're talking about real estate. And then who has life insurance by show of hands? What's up? That's what's up. Why do you have life insurance? You're military. Oh, I like that. That's good stuff. You show up with no money. I like that even better. I like it even better. We need life insurance because anything can happen, right? What we don't want to do is let one medical emergency put us in bankruptcy, okay? And we're going to have Miss Jessica Bolton come in and talk to you about life insurance. Who is this for? Me or us? Us, all of us. Because each time these guest speakers come in, they share the latest and greatest that's on the street. SRP shares with the latest and greatest rates on where I can put my money away. It's always changing. The market's changing. Michaela and Mr. Durr's going to talk about the housing market. What does the APR look like? What do I need to do to plan and own my own dirt, to own my own doorknob, so I can tell somebody you can leave my house? That feels good right there. You can get to stepping. You feel me? Excellent. And Miss Jessica Boat going to talk about life insurance. I just saw on one of my Facebook threads, I'm prior military, as I told you guys before. If I didn't, prior military, but what I wanted to know is, that you know, is I have a friend that she just passed away. We served together, we went to Iraq together. And I saw on our thread from our unit, she passed away. And then I clicked on the other side, they have a new fund count, not GoFundMe, but it's a new name, and they're raising up $15,000. So again, we got to plan. We're good now, right? We all think we're strong and we're gonna live long, right? Ideally, right? That's why I don't probably need what I need so fast, because I'm young, I ain't gonna get sick, I ain't gonna die. But you're gonna leave something back for somebody? I don't know. I know what we're not gonna do this week. We're gonna engage and we're gonna communicate. Looking nice and fly right there. You got somewhere to be after this? All right, then watch out there now. Money. With that being said, what do we do when our guest speakers come up? We clap. Come on up, SRP Miss.
Hello, everyone. How are you all tonight or this evening? Good. I'm Ambassador LaToya Richardson. I am the ambassador for SRP Federal Credit Union as well as the community. I am an assistant manager at SRP Federal Credit Union located on Augusta West Parkway. This is my fellow ambassador, Van Tate.
I'm in the Broad Street branch right down here. I'm the member service rep, assistant branch manager at that branch. And yeah, if you need anything, I'll be down there, right down the street.
Mm-hmm. Right now, Van is going to go over some products and services as well as ask you guys a few questions about the differences between a bank and a credit union.
Yeah, so at SRP, we have just about anything that you'd be looking for. We have credit cards, we have checking accounts, savings accounts. We have accounts where you can invest money called certificates of deposits. We have, of course, we have loans, but we also have financial services, financial counseling for people who may not be, whose credit might not be exactly where you need to be at for a loan or for a mortgage or something like that. We have an entire department dedicated to come in and help you. You tell them everything about your credit, you let them see your credit, and then they're just going to go through it and help you for free as long as you're a member. There's no extra fee. There's nothing like that. We're here to help you. And then when it comes to our products and services, the thing is, banks have just about the same thing that we have. But the difference between a credit union and a bank is that we, us members, are also the owners. That's the difference between us and a bank. So at a bank, you're a customer. At a credit union, you're the member owner. That means every time you have an account, you have a piece of the business. And how we give back to the member owners is we have lower interest rates on our loans, and then you earn more on your investment products. As who here has a credit union account? And is it SRP? Navy Federal. Also, just as good. They're great. They're great too. So, who has a bank account? It's still good. Still good. But the thing is, you also want to check out a credit union. Come on by at Broad Street or any branch, and talk to me. I can help you. I can see what you're trying to do. I may be able to help you out.
And also a difference between a bank and a credit union is the fact that the banks are for profit. So with the banks, they're going to charge you higher interest rates on your automobiles or any other loan that you may request. Also at the credit union, we're going to charge you less than what the banks would normally charge. So again, like Van mentioned, being a member, that's a perk that we give back to you, is lower interest rates on your loans, higher rates on your savings and certificate accounts as well. Whereas at a bank, you're not going to find rates as high as what we offer at the credit union. Any questions about that? No? All right. So in your packets, everyone should have a flyer or a brochure that talks about credit reports, credit report FAQ. Can anyone tell me what a credit report is? Yes. A credit report is a detailed record of your credit history, including loans, credit cards, payment histories, and of course, public records as well. Public records, that's if you file bankruptcy, that's going to show up on your credit report. If you have collections, you didn't pay a medical debt, that's going to show up on your credit report as well. So that's what it means by saying public records. Why is my credit report important? We're going to make this interactive. I need y'all to talk to me. Say it again. Influence, okay. Anybody else? Well, the reason why your credit report is important is because when you apply for a job, they will pull your credit, depending on where you apply for a job at. If you want to purchase a home, they're going to pull your credit. That's why it's important. Even sometimes, if you're applying for a credit card, for instance, they're going to pull your credit. No matter where you go in life, there's a chance they're going to pull your credit. So that's why it's very important to keep a good credit score, make sure your bills are paid on time, and that you make sure that you check your credit report annually, free every year. Did you guys know that you could check your credit report for free every year? And it's all 3 credit bureaus? Okay. And you can do that. It's also listed in here. Annualcreditreport.com is the website that you would use for that. Does anyone know the 3 credit bureaus? That's right. That's right. Thank you for that. And again, to get your free credit report is where? What website? Thank you. Somebody's going along with us with that. All right. What information is included on your credit report? So that's going to be like your addresses, your payment history, any inquiries that you've had on your credit. So if you go to apply for a credit card, that's going to show up as an inquiry on your credit report, okay? You apply for a loan, that's going to show up on your credit report. So another thing to be mindful of is the more inquiries you have the potential of lowering your credit score each time your credit is pulled. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. Now, sometimes when you're searching for a mortgage or searching for a car, it won't hit you as hard as you applying for a mortgage, then you're applying for a car, then you're applying for a personal loan, because those are 3 different things. But if you're in the same line along with a mortgage, like I said, or if you're searching for a car, it may not hit you as bad. But what you want to do is, if you're applying for a loan for a vehicle, go to a credit union, get pre-approved for an auto loan first. That way you don't go to the dealership and have them pulling your credit multiple times, okay? Because that can hurt you. And a lot of times when you go through the dealership, they can probably get you into a loan, but it's going to be a high interest rate, okay? Yep. Credit acceptance, just to name a few. Those are a few lenders who charge very high interest rates on your auto loans. Also, same thing with the home loan. You can be pre-approved for a home loan as well. Credit unions offer that. Sometimes there are perks for having your payment automatically drafted out of your account. They may offer you a 0.25% discount on your rate for doing so. So it would be beneficial to you to join a credit union. We're open to pretty much all over the CSRA, where we have locations in South Carolina and Georgia. It's about 22 branches now. We do have a mobile branch that's coming open, so it will go out into the more rural areas like Waynesboro, Rennes, Washington, Georgia, places where there is not a branch. they will set up shop there and they'll be able to assist you there along with the ATMs and ITMs that we have all around the CSRA as well. Any other questions so far as we moving right along? Yes. Yes. You want to talk about that, Van?
So hard pull, that's just gonna be the general what you think about when you think about a credit pool. That's what hits your credit. You're more likely gonna feel a few points go down on a hard pull. If your credit's better, usually the hard pull doesn't hit as bad. A soft pull generally isn't gonna affect your credit at all, but it will show up on it that you did have a soft pull. That's usually just to get your information, just get a feel of what your credit is going to be and what your credit score and just what your credit score is. But a hard pull, that's when you want to see everything.
And with the soft pull on your credit, just to dig a little deeper on his question, you may see a soft pull if you're applying for lights. Jefferson Electric, Georgia Power, they may do a soft pull on your credit. Also, you're applying for a job. That's considered a soft pull as well, okay? Again, it's just to kind of see where you stand without actually hitting your credit hard and causing your credit score to be lowered. Yes, sir.
You get them little, when you sign up for them credit cards, where you have to like deposit your own like $1,000 and then use it and pay on the loan. How long will it take that to approve your credit?
That's a secure credit card. That's when you secure a credit card with your own funds. And usually, it can take a month or two just before it starts establishing your credit and starts building on your credit. But even if you have a secured card, one of the main things you want to take care of if you do see that your credit is in a poor situation is that you want to take care of anything that's called derogatory. That means late payments. That means things that haven't been paid, things that may be charged off for collections. Even if you're doing well on currently on your credit, that you're taking care of things right now, those past things will still affect your credit score, so those have to be taken care of.
Yes. And on the secure credit card, we do not pull your credit for that, okay? Because you're securing it with your own money, but it's going to help you build credit. So that is a good place to start. And with SRP, we charge a minimum of $250 to begin a credit line with SRP, okay? And you can go up to whatever you have set aside. It could be, if you have $10,000 set aside, you could do a secure credit card for that as well. So, any other questions? Okay.
You also have a secure loan. So say you want to make a large purchase and you have the money in your own account. But you want to ensure that you're going to pay yourself back with interest and improve your credit score. You can open up a secure loan with your own money, loaning the money to yourself, and pay yourself back with interest and raise your credit score.
Now with that, just to add to that, that's going to be a lower rate, okay, for you. So you're paying yourself back, yes, but again, that's money set aside, but your rate is going to be lower than it would on a regular loan if you borrow against your own money. You had a question?
So like you put money in,
Speak up, the AC, they can't hear you over here.
you put money in and don't spend it, the credit score still go up.
So you want to use your credit, okay? So that's how you show that you're responsible with your credit. So you'll use it and pay it back because that's part of your credit report, is creating history, making sure your usage isn't in excess. So there's also a graph in here that will show you how much is your credit score goes towards your payment history. And delinquencies, how that affects you as well. So again, you just want to make sure you pay your bills on time. You want to use your credit. You don't want to get it and just let it sit there because it's not doing anything. Because again, you want to show that you're responsible and you're using your credit wisely. You had a question as well?
Security card, I gotta pay interest on my own money.
Yes.
Is that a set fee or does that fee depend on what my credit score is?
So usually with a secured card, you do not have credit for instance, okay? You're gonna start out with a high rate. Our rates cap at 18% on a secured card, okay? So with a secured card, because you're building credit, it is gonna be at 18%, but again, you're using it, paying it back, using it, paying it back. Yes, there is interest charge, that's how it works. However, you will be gaining a credit score by doing so. So that's the benefit of it. And then once you've used your card and paid it back and created history, we'll then convert you to an unsecured card. And then at that point, you could get a lower rate because now you have a credit score assigned to you.
And just to add on to that, with the credit card, whatever you spend, if you pay that back before your due date, you don't get charged interest.
Yes, that's right. If you pay it, just like Van said, if you pay before, you don't have to worry about it. That's just if you're carrying a balance along the way. That's where it comes into play. So on your credit report, we discussed going through annualcreditreport.com to check your credit. So you're looking for discrepancies. So if you see anything on your credit report that's not correct, you want to dispute that. They do have 30 days to resolve that for you. And there have been instances where people didn't realize their mom or dad got a bill that was in the child's name when they were little and coming up, and now all of a sudden you're an adult and you have this stuff on your credit report that you knew nothing about. So it is important that you check your credit report, all 3 bureaus, once a year. So again, do we have any questions as far as that's concerned? We have things like collections, bankruptcies, and foreclosures that will stay on your credit report for a length of time. Bankruptcies can stay on at least up to 10 years, collections 7 years, and foreclosures 7 years. But with collections, sometimes, I don't want you guys to fear collections. If you have collections on your credit report, try to get in touch with those collection agencies and see if they'll accept a settlement for you. Yes, it's good to just pay what you owe, but life happens and they're willing to work with you. So if you would contact them and say, hey, what's the least amount that I can give you to settle this debt? And a lot of times they want to get that off of their books. They will settle with you on the debt and you pay it off, and that wipes your that collection off of your credit report. Any questions about that? How long does it take for my credit score to change after paying off a creditor? Your credit score can improve within a month after paying off your debt, but it depends on depends on your overall credit profile and the types of accounts that are involved. What's a good credit score? Somebody throw a number out to me. Yep.
800.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the goal. That's the goal. But yes, those numbers are correct as well. What's a bad credit score? Yes, yes, yes. And of course, guys, that will hurt you. The lower your score, the higher interest rates you're going to pay on your loans. So now we're going to talk about the interest rates. Van's going to go over that, and just feel free to jump in and ask any questions that you may have to make sure you guys understand what he's saying as far as rates are concerned. Yes, sir.
And y'all should have this sheet right here.
Van, hold on one second. He had a question.
No credit is the same as bad credit. Like if you don't have good or bad credit, since you don't have a credit line to show that you got good credit, that's like a bad credit.
Yes.
Great question.
Yes,
Repeat that question
that's
for
true.
everyone to hear.
Is no credit at all the same thing as bad credit?
It's not the same thing. So with no credit, you can get approved for a loan. It can be a low balance loan. It might be $500, but that gets you started. Bad credit gets you denied.
And sometimes no credit still they will ask you to have a co-applicant on the loan with you because you have no history, so they're reluctant to really give you anything.
You can't prove that you.
Because exactly. So that's why what you've heard is kind of true in a way. because if you don't have a credit score, then they're really not going to give you anything because they don't have anything to see what your history was exactly. But again, there are some people that will give you something, but I guarantee the rate is going to be extremely high, or you're going to need a co-applicant for it, or they're going to start you with a very minimal balance. Like if it's a credit card, it might be $200 or something like that, which really isn't going to help you.
So we have to build our credit, and the best way to start building our credit with no credit before we
Is-
go over is to do what? What's the best way to do it? Instead of jumping out and getting a store credit, Macy's credit card or Lowe's credit card, what's the best avenue to start credit?
Like the gentleman here on the end mentioned, the secure credit cards. That's the way to go. Again, yes, you're paying interest on it, but that's how you're going to build your credit and get a score. And like I said, give it about 6 months, you'll have a score. You can apply for an unsecured line of credit. You can apply for an automobile as well. And then 9 times out of 10, you'll get a lower rate. Once that score is up there, you'll get a lower rate on your vehicles or any other loans that you would like to apply for.
So, on that line, as far as, applying for an apartment, I wasn't trying to do like quick pool, is that soft pool or hard pool? Because they don't have different from that, in an apartment.
So sometimes it depends on the company, but a lot of times they do a soft pull on your credit. I have not personally seen any hard pulls from apartment complexes. It's usually soft pulls, and they can tell right from that soft pull whether or not you will be a good candidate for an apartment. And a lot of times I think in a soft pull, because it's public record, your evictions are going to show up to those apartment complexes. Also, just if you have a bunch of collections out there, that all is going to show up in your soft pull because, again, it is public record. That answer your question? Okay. Any other questions before Van gets started? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Van.
So the interest on the auto loan here at the top is going to have someone with a much higher credit score. Same amount of money on the vehicle. This is how much is this vehicle right here at the top? $30,000. What's your interest rate on that? On this? This is which you're going to have a 720 credit score. 4.99% for 72 months, and you're going to be paying how much on that payment per month? $483 per month for a new, brand new vehicle. That's $30,000. On the bottom loan, this is your interest rate. If your credit score is around, let's say about 580. What's that interest rate on that same amount of money for the same car? 14.2%, 10% more than what you have if your credit score is a little better. And how much are you paying per month? $622. That's a big difference, ain't it? That's a big difference. $622 and $483. That's a pretty big difference on the same vehicle. $30,000. You really want to make sure when you go in and go get your loan, you want to make sure that your credit score is right so that you're getting the best deal, the best rate, and that you're walking out able to continue to pay for other things and have a vehicle and comfortably pay for it and not have to worry about ever having a late payment or anything like that. And on the last sheet, this is going into our investment products, which are certificates of deposit. So a certificate of deposit is just an account where basically you want to put an amount of money that you don't want to touch anymore. Say you just got your tax refund this tax season, and you got an amount of money that you know I don't want to touch it this year. I want to save this amount of money. I don't want to spend it, but I want it to earn on itself. That's what the CD is going to do. You put in the CD, it locks in. It locks in for whatever amount of time that you lock it in for. Anyone look at that? Y'all see that right there? These are the initial deposits coming in here at the bottom on this. Someone put in $2,000 on a certificate deposit. And this is every month, it's earning $5, $7, $6. Y'all see that? That's your money just earning on itself that you just want to save. So it's earning, you're saving, and whenever you're done with it, you can either pull out the interest that you earned, you can pull out the full amount, or you can put more in so that you continue to save. It's a great tool. It really is a great tool to save some money and build some money and earn some money.
What do we do? And and so we learned about interest rates. Did anyone already know that information? Was it a refresher or was it all brand new to you? All brand new? Is it something that you can work with? You know what to get out there and do and let your money work for you? Sometimes people take these loans out. You can't get a loan. You put that money to the side, right? Right? Okay. All right. So with that being said is, we got interest rates, we got APR, we know secured, we know CDs, we know secured cards is a safe way to step up and get that credit boosted. You're probably gonna hear something similar to that when Michaela and Daryl comes out, because sometimes people use secured cards to get that bump on their credit report to make them that much better for their purchase of a home. So credit is kind of like what? What does credit remind you of? Something very simple. What does it remind you of? Huh? It's your money, but it's your resume. It's your financial resume. That's what you gotta think like. Or it's your grades in school. You gotta pour back into yourself and invest into yourself so that you won't have a problem getting those wheels that you want to purchase and not getting it at an 18 or a 19 or a 20. I heard a 26.99 before. That ain't smart. 26.99 off a vehicle. That's what we call this, that's a bad form of credit. You need a car, but you don't have to have a car, and it can work against you on your credit. A house is a different form of credit. It's a dwelling that's in place, and it will yield better and won't score your credit report. And with that being said, you heard a thing called credit to debt ratio. She said you didn't want too much of your credit to be bothered, right? Out of 100%, is it smart to have 60% tied up in loans? That means 60% of the income that's coming into your house is paying off on credit cards, car note, everything that will hurt you. That's 60% of your income. No. You want to go low. Listen to what Michaela and Daryl want to say. What is a good interest rate credit and debt ratio when you're trying to get a home? What you need to look like on paper. So what we're about to do, we're going to talk a little bit about houses. Because we all said we have a desire to own our own home. And it's a beautiful thing to own something that's yours.
In order to purchase a home, the lowest credit score you can have is a 580. So a lot of my clients come to me, first-time home buyers, they're not even at a 580 yet, which is fine. You know, again, we were never taught about credit, so a lot of us signed up for credit cards and, you know, things happened. So what we do is we put them in touch with someone who can run a soft pull. Usually a soft pull, like SRP talked about, doesn't hit your credit, and they're able to tell you the step-by-step things to get you to that 580 number. However, at a 580, you're still looking at putting like 3% down. So on a house that's $200,000, that's $6,000. A lot of people can't afford that. So if we can get you to a 620, then you can qualify for something called down payment assistance, which there's programs within the city of Augusta, there's programs within the state of Georgia, there's programs within South Carolina if you want to look that way. But I hate South Carolina contracts, we're not gonna talk about it. But within the state of Georgia, that if you have at least a 620 credit score and your debt to income ratio, like we talked about earlier, so how much you're making versus how much debt you have, lines up, you can actually qualify to have your down payment covered by this program. So that's $6,000 we're not gonna think about. So what is gonna be your upfront cost if you decided, you know, we got to this 620 point, we're ready to go, we wanna go buy a home, what's our upfront cost, right? So the first upfront cost you're gonna have is your earnest money. So earnest money is like the deposit you put down on a rental. It's the money you put up to tell the seller, I want this house and I'm invested, okay? Earnest money can be as low as $1,000. So you're gonna need at least $1,000. You're gonna put that up, it's gonna sit with the attorney's office for 7 to 10 days, and we're gonna get the house inspected. An inspection's gonna cost you about $450. So we got $1,000, we got $450, okay? After that inspection, we'll request repairs. If it's new construction, we request everything because it's brand new, there shouldn't be issues. If it's resale, we're looking for major things. So roof leaks, water leaks, foundation issues, HVAC issues, anything that's gonna affect your safety or security in the home, we can request the seller fix. And most of the time they will, because the other option is to put the house back on the market and say, hey, I know something doesn't work in this house. So now they're taking $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 less on their house, as opposed to just fixing it for a few thousand and selling it to you. All right, after that, the only other out-of-pocket expense you will have prior to closing is going to be your appraisal fee. The appraisal is $600. So those are your three expenses. We have earnest money, $1,000, inspection, $450, and appraisal, which is $600 to $650, okay? The appraisal is where the bank goes out and makes sure that they're making a good bet on giving you this money. So they're gonna go out, they're gonna go look at that house, they're gonna make sure it's in livable condition, they're gonna make sure that there aren't any safety or health hazards, and they're also going to make sure that you're not paying more than what the house is worth. So if you're under contract at $200,000, but the bank says, hey, this house is only worth $195,000, the bank is not gonna cover that $5,000 difference. They don't wanna be upside down on the loan, and they don't want you to be upside down on the loan. So at that point, we'll have to go renegotiate. If the bank goes out and they say, hey, this house is infested with cockroaches, the bank doesn't want a house infested with cockroaches, and they don't want you to live in one either. Well, I don't know if a bank cares, but we're gonna pretend they do. So, okay, so the seller now has to rectify this cockroach issue before you can move into that house, because the bank isn't gonna loan on that house with a cockroach issue, okay? So there are kind of steps in place to make sure that you are getting a solid house. So again, out of pocket, we have earnest money, $1,000. Inspections, $450. Appraisals is $600 to $650. So let's say, you make it from the house, the inspection goes well, we request repairs, we're good to go. You make it to closing. Usually from going under contract on a house, so you see that house, you put in an offer, the seller accepts, to closing is 30 days, okay? At closing, if you have down payment assistance and the seller is covering all of your closing costs, you can get that $1,000 you put up in the beginning back as a check. So now, all you really paid for this house was the inspection and the appraisal, which is about $1,000. Does that make it seem a lot more simple? Does it seem doable? Aside from, working on our credit, which can be a long process. But I've worked with a lot of clients who've come to me with like 450 credit scores, worked for a year, which is a long time, but then were able to buy a home. Then they got to keep that home, take their equity out of that home, and buy another house and make that house a rental. Do we know what equity is? Money. So equity is the difference between what you owe on that house and what it's worth. So if you bought that house for $200,000, and statistically, the market value for houses goes up over a number of years. So let's say you bought the house for $200,000. 5 years later, that house was worth $250,000, but you've also been paying down on that loan every month. So let's say you now have $150,000 left on that loan, and the house is worth $250,000. That's $100,000 of equity right there that you could pull out of that house and use to buy another property, make that house a rental. Now you have residual income, and you're living in this other house that you would rather live in. A lot of the time, when we're a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of boxes. Yes. Yes.
So you take the money out of the house right there. So what that house gonna be? The house that you take the money out of, what is it gonna be?
Yeah, it's still your house.
I know, but is it like you taking out the mortgage on it or what?
So it's like a low interest loan essentially, but you're taking out the money that's within the house to then put towards another house. You can use that $100,000 towards a down payment on another property. So now your payments are super low here, while your renter could be paying your mortgage over here, Yes, if you do not pay your mortgage, they can take your house. Yes. That is called foreclosure. Yep. So if you do not pay your mortgage, yes, they can take your house. Yes. SRP, what's the answer? If you pull your money out of your house, if you pull the equity out of your house, it's like a HELOC. you got to pay back.
Yeah, so I did that. So I took a HELOC on my house with a lot of equity in it, right? To invest in another property, right? So when I took that out, so I took roughly around $50,000, right, to buy another property, right? So now with my current mortgage, you can pick whoever you want to do it with, right? So I did mine with, I think, Navy Fed and Navy Fed. So they gave me the HELOC, $50,000. Now I got to make monthly payments on that. But the investment, the purpose of it is that investment that you get, right, is to pay on that, to pay off that investment. So less than, I say, 90 or 120 days, you want to be able to pay that back off.
Now, another option would be if you didn't want to take out a HELOC and you wanted that $100,000, you could just sell that house. Then at closing, you know, if you owe $150, at closing you sell it for $250 minus commission and fees. Let's say you get that $100,000. Now that's a check. Or they put a double deposit in your bank account. They can hold it for like 14 days. But, you know, that's money that you could just use for whatever. I would prefer you invest in further wealth building activities like buying a home or putting it into investment accounts or something. But it is your money. And you can do whatever you want with it after you sell that property. So they say that buying a home is a smart investment because statistically the values do go up. You're paying on that loan every month, so the amount you owe on that house is going down. And so you are able to use that money, that equity piece, how you work. Yes.
So take the HELOC out and then sell the house for what it's worth, and then older HELOC back.
No, I was just saying you could sell it in general. Now you could take a HELOC out, do some repairs on a house, make the value go up, then resell the house, and then you pay the HELOC back but still make a bigger profit. That's an option.
Remember, a HELOC, and as we get ready to wrap this up, because what I want you to know is inside you see Michaela's brochure. Hold that up for me, sir. Yeah, hold that up for all to see. Contact information right there. Because what we do, thank you so much. What we got here is we can't get it all in the time, but you are asking excellent questions. I want you to know that you can reach out to Michaela and Daryl because they give their time here at the Manhood and Womanhood Tour. They'll open up to you and any questions you may have. When she said you want to set the course for a 1 year, whatever it may take to get your finances in order, then they can help chart that course for you. Then the financial institution over there can show you better ways within their realm of space to help you achieve. What we're talking about is it's achievable, it's obtainable. Do you all agree with the information you just received? Yeah. You see how you can get around it, right? It's not, people want you to believe that it's a tough thing to own your own home. No, it's not. It takes discipline and hard work. That's what it takes. Dedication, what you say, Daryl? That's right. Information we share, because sharing is caring. What do we do for our guest speakers? So again, excellent information. Document, you look at it, that's her contact. Ayla's no longer with her. Daryl is now on the team with her, and she's currently working with, I'm pretty sure she's gonna update this. She used to be with Century 21. She's with Keller and Williams now for real estate. She's been with us for a while. Daryl's new to the team, and we think he's gonna be just as good as Michaela coming on. That is your individual, your networking real estate agent right now. So that number needs to be inside your phone. This sheet of paper you can throw away, but you need to put that information in the phone. Because it's not for you right now, then for later and someone else. Because I'm just saying, we gotta get our stuff in order. And just keep in mind that on a HELOC, it's not for you to come up on the money, all right? Like you heard David say, the next 120 days you flip that money over. You're really using it to get yourself to a higher situation at flipping that home and doing some upgrades to that home, which will in turn allow your home to be sold for so much more. Mine is a 75-year-old home. I remodeled the whole home. The home is now worth $450,000. You gotta make your money work for you. If something happened, you flip that house, get that money back, all right? That's when you only buy things that give you a good return on investment. If it don't give you a good return on investment, you walk away from it because don't nobody know you, right? Nobody know your goal is fake or real. It's all fake. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring up Miss Jessica Bolton, right?
Just saying, I wear fake stuff. I know.
Jessica's gonna talk to us about life insurance. She comes to us from Prime America, all right? And who, by showing hands, gonna give her a demographic, who's got life insurance right now? All right, it's important. But if you don't know anything about it, who knows about life insurance? All right, I see some hands up. Who wants to know about life insurance? That's the question right there, right? How can I get in on that? How can I take care of myself? How can I make sure I get what I need, right? Right? May not be for you right now. You only need your mom and your dad or whatnot, but it's okay. When you get grown, you're going to remember. Miss Jessica Bolton, I got her number. We're going to remember that. Clap it up for her.
Life insurance. I messed up.
It makes a medical and life.
That's all right. You did good. You did good. Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Amazing. My name is Jessica Bolton. I am a senior regional leader with Primerica. And today we are going to talk about the importance of life insurance. We're going to understand life insurance. But I have a quick question I want to ask everyone. When you think about life insurance, where is the money? So where is the money? Right? Right. So oftentimes I make sure I specialize in teaching our families on how money actually works. Right? So I'll do an example. We work, right? You might work 40, 50 hours a week. When you get paid, what do you do with your money? You go right into paying bills, right? But what we forget to do is pay ourselves first. So I'm gonna work, 40 years for somebody else, and I'm never gonna pay me first. So when did I have time to actually put money to the side to save for my family? And this is why understanding life insurance is so important. So it's gonna bring me to the sheet that you guys have in front of you. And then I'll do a couple scenarios with you. So on the, I want to say on the right hand, left hand side, whichever, because I can't see y'all. Cash value life insurance. Have you guys heard of that term before? Anyone? Show of hands, cash value. Okay, perfect. And so with cash value, you have whole life, you have universal life, you have variable life, and then you also have those IUL index annuities, right? And so, they all have different names, but they pretty much work similar. So with cash value, they may tell you could borrow from your policy. Have you heard of that before? You could borrow from your policy, you could pay it back, you can use it for retirement, for vacations, for emergencies, all that good stuff, right? So this is how it actually works. So that family, John and Mary, they have $200,000 together in total coverage. And I'm gonna peek real quick. What they paying? Okay, so they're gonna be paying $235 a month. So what happens is part of that is gonna go towards the life insurance. The other portion is gonna go to that cash value. Now, at the end, let's say they were doing that for about 30 years. So when they die, thank you so much, Shika. When they die, what do we expect to happen to the cash value? And that, so the answer, so the question was, what happens to that cash value? And the answer that I just received is that it goes to the family. Guys, same scenario for me. That's what I thought happened. I thought that money goes, to my family. I thought my baby was gonna get it. But what I found out is the family never sees that money. That money actually stays with the life insurance company. Yeah, look at your face. And so you have families like, well, wait a minute, because you told me I could use this for retirement, for vacations, for emergencies. So give me my money now, right? Give me my money. I want it now. Give me my money before I die. And the insurance company say, well, we won't give you your money. We'll let you borrow your money. Now, who really wants to borrow their own money? Nobody, right? So understanding that term, when you borrow your money, that means you're going to be taking a loan out on your own money. And when you take out a loan, what's attached to a loan? Interest and fees. And so now you not only taking out a loan on your own money, you got interest and fees on top of it. And on top of that, I think they're paying $235 on that. She just said $225. But that $235 that they're paying a month, they still have to pay that. Now, isn't that crazy? So now I understand that with this money, it's taken out as a loan. If I take out that loan, right, if I really need it, I pull it out. If I don't pay it back before I pass away, guess what happens? They take it out of your life insurance benefit. So you may not have life insurance left. Has anyone ever lost a loved one, and when it was time to, put in the claim so that you could actually get the funds to take care of the burial, and when we got there, it was either no money or less than what was supposed to actually be there? They borrow off that money and they don't pay it back, they won't have anything left. There won't be anything there. So knowing the importance of life insurance, but also understanding how it works is very important. So I'm gonna just take that same scenario, slide it over on the right-hand side. We still got the same family, John and Mary. We got the same 30 years. We kept the same budget of $235. And now they have term insurance. And so term insurance is pure life insurance. That's exactly what it is, right? There's no additional investment vehicle or build your own bank that's attached to that. It is life insurance, exactly what it is. And so now they have, it's 250? Okay, so now they have $500,000 together in life insurance coverage. And they're only gonna be spending $82 a month. Wow. So think about that. They were paying $235. They had $200,000 together. They switched, got term insurance, right? They're paying $82 and they have $500,000 together now. So we were able to save that family $153. That is a huge deal. So with saving, you want to make sure that you are building wealth, right? We want to have generational wealth for our families. But how do we do that? Nobody's teaching us that. Nobody's talking about how the money works, right? So what we do is help our families with investing that money into a mutual fund or some other type of investment account, and that money is going to grow, right? So if something were to happen to John and Mary in this scenario, whose $265,000 is that? What happens with that money, that $265,000? Anyone else? Think about it. No. Why? Why would they lose it? Because they're paying for two things, and the family's either going to get one or they're going to X each other out. That second one, that's two separate things. You have life insurance and you have an investment. If I pass away, my life insurance is going to pay out, right? My investment is not touched to my life insurance, right? That's my family money. That's generational wealth right there. And so if they just so happen to die too soon, they have $500,000 in life insurance coverage. But let's say they live long, right? We know term is limited. The great thing about Primerica's term is it automatically renews for you. So let's say you took out a 25-year term, right? And at the end of that 25 years, it's not going to cancel out. What it will do is automatically renew at your current age, and you pay your premium based upon your age at that time. However, you don't answer any additional medical questions. You don't need a physical completed. You just automatically continue your coverage. Now that is amazing because we know term will end. With Primerica's term, it automatically renews. So we talk about how life works. In our earlier years, when we're younger, we got young children, we have high debt, we have mortgage, and of course, loss of income is definitely going to be devastating. Why? Because right now we are paying for food, clothing, and shelter. If I happen to pass away, my income is going to die with me. What's going to replace that income? Life insurance. The best time to get life insurance is as early as possible. So I would tell anyone that. So I would definitely say it depends on how you use it, right? So that money, you want to make sure you have saved up for your family, right? And so depending on the components that's going to be built in it, just based upon you're young, you're healthy, right? So taking out life insurance on yourself, you might take out $75,000, $100,000, you might be paying $30. You do that with whole life, well, you're gonna be paying double the price. So you probably be paying $80 for that same amount of coverage. And that money's not gonna grow as well as you expect. Why? Because it's already capped. So cash value knows at what rate it's gonna grow, and they know where it's gonna cap it. They know exactly where it's gonna stop. Because if need be, they need to get their money back, they're gonna make sure that's possible.
I said something earlier, and I said credit to debt ratio. It's your, David? Is David in the house?
Income to debt ratio.
Income to debt ratio is what I'm describing. You don't want to be so high. You want to be 20% and low on your income to debt ratio. That's how much money you're bringing in to how much money you're paying out. You want to stay low on your numbers for income to debt ratio. You're going to get turned down on a lot of things if you owe more money than what you're bringing in. Does that make sense? That's simply what I'm saying. All right? Credit repair, correcting errors. You want to catch this right now at freecreditreport.com and say nobody else. Who's the other people? Give me another place that you think. Karma. Who? Hold that. Creditkarma.com. Y'all so fast. He's gonna make me talk about it, but I'm trying to tell you, Credit Karma is not your credit score. It's not your hard and fast credit scores. What the young ladies are trying to tell me is, Experian is, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are the 3 credit report bureaus that are seen for what your credit is. I mean, just in case the show us want to do it. Who's in Atlanta? Which one of them is in Atlanta? TransUnion's out west. Equifax is in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's why sometimes you ever bring me credit. I don't know if you need a question. I'm just a nerd. Sometimes I look to see who it was. And Equifax and got it. Yeah. What are you doing? What? Yeah.
So you do the exercise.
Somebody give you the exercise. You didn't have the sheets?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
All right. So let me do this. Can I get 3? And your chair break off to this side right here. A little faster. Act like y'all going to get some more pizza. A little bit more for me, please. Thank you. I want to keep y'all groups far away so you don't overstep. Can I get a facilitator for that group? Next 3, please. Can you slide? And you're going to follow suit. The rest of y'all get it? Don't be too close to the groups. Get something close. Can I get a facilitator to go with that one? Go in and then the next 3, okay? Next 4, that last 4 of that group. Facilitators, can you please step in? That's right. Okay. Assist you. This yours too? All right, fill in, we got one there. I need a facilitator right here in this group. I need a facilitator right here in this group. All right. So what you got right now is you have 7.
Everybody hear me? Over here, you hear me? Over here, you hear me? Build your network. By a show of hand, who has a mechanic phone number in their phone? Mechanic. Only one? And you're female. Oh, your brother. All right, what about electrician? Show of hands. Electrician. Man, you got an electrician in your phone? Your dad is? Okay, then that's what I'm talking about. Okay, what about a plumber? Show of hands. Hey, I'm asking these questions because a lot of people don't network, right? And it's very important to network. Let me ask another question. Why don't we network as people? Why don't we network?
We don't speak up.
Huh?
We don't speak up.
And what else? Antisocial. Okay, so then what's the importance of networking? Why should we network?
Resources.
Huh?
Resources.
Say it loud again.
Resources.
Say it one more time.
Resources.
Why should we network?
Resources.
And what else? What's another reason?
Sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Say it one more time.
Sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
So how do we network? Huh? Talk. What you mean by talk? Huh? Just reaching out to different people? Right? So what kind of platform, what you talking about? How do you reach out to different people? Instagram, TikTok. We got all these social media platforms now, but we ain't using them for networking, we using them for entertainment, right? They are tools to use for networking, right? So it's important to talk about networking because we're talking about sharing information, sharing resources. We want to get ahead, we want to get a good job, we want to know somebody that can call somebody that can help us out with a car, an issue, or plumbing, or electrician, or whatever it may be. It's very important to network, but a lot of people in this generation, I think that because we got social media, we forgot about networking. We forgot about talking to one another to find out what you do, how can we help each other out, right? So I just want to cover that real quick before we get into the money. All right, so why is it important to network one more time?
Resources.
And you said what?
Not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Got it. All right, we go ahead. What she said? I'm sorry.
No, you can cover.
Yeah, so we finna go into the group discussion. It's going over the interest rates, and we're going over interest rates, and it's 3 sheets. What else? She got it. There's 3 sheets in there. Interest rates, and understanding and calculating interest rates. All right, let's go. Group leaders, let me get you. Hey,
7 minutes on the clock.
you got this shit. You got this shit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, so check. What's the interest rate? Okay. Cost of borrowing money, right? Cost of borrowing money. Hey, I got it right here. Yeah, I got yours. I'm gonna give it back to you. I'm gonna just hold. I know what it is. You got yours. You got it. Yeah, it's 3 of them. One of them got answers on it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, this is right. So, hey, so understand this, man. This is how a lot of people get messed over, right? Because they don't understand interest rates. Y'all understood credit, right? When they talk about credit, everybody understood credit, right? You can go to SRP to figure out how to build your credit, right? And maintain your credit. Yeah, you can. Right. Yeah, you're right, yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what I learned the hard way. It's better to go to a bank that's gonna help you. You tell them, hey, I got a 600 credit score, I want an 800. Right? They're gonna walk you through the whole thing. Like, you might just go out there and get this TV, right? But say you want to get this TV, the interest rate is stupid high. 12%. You see what I'm saying? Because your credit is low. That's why they, yours, no, I'm not saying yours, but I'm saying like, you could have got 7.4 years. Yeah. So buying furniture, TV, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, or a secured credit card, right? That'll build your credit score, right? But let's just, you ain't got it, you don't have to have one, but that's another way, another option, right? But let's just say you got a 500 credit score, right? 500 credit score. right? When you go in there to get that TV or that furniture, they're gonna try to give you a high interest rate, right? Even if you got an 800 credit score, they still might try to trick you and get you on a high interest rate because you don't understand it. If you don't know what it is, you don't understand interest rate, then they're gonna get you. Because what they do is the first thing they're gonna ask you is how much money, how much can you afford a month? If you ever hear that question right there, when you first walk into a establishment to buy something, they say how much can you afford a month? They finna get you on the interest. Now they know it, you don't know about the interest rate. That's their clue to get you on the interest rate, right? Because what they're gonna say is, I'm gonna make sure you just paying what you say you can pay. So if I say, hey, how much can you afford a month? You say $350. But this furniture costs whatever you see on the sticker tag, right? You might see it on the sticker tag, it might cost $4,000, right? That just says a whole furniture set, right? It cost $4,000. But you just said, hey, I can afford $350 a month, right? So they're gonna make sure you get that $4,000 furniture at $350 a month, but they finna give it to you with the high ass interest rate, right? So now you're gonna be paying on that loan for a long time with a high interest rate. Because you ain't understand that, you ain't reading contracts, right? So this is about reading contracts and understanding interest rates, right? So you got a 725, that's a good score. You should be able to get a low interest rate no matter where you go, right? So now we understand interest is the cost of borrowing money, right? We don't even gotta look at this sheet no more because we understand that, right? But let's understand how to calculate interest rate, right? All right, so going to this sheet here, right? So if you go to the top of it, right, we're doing it by the power of 10, right, 10%, right? So if you get a loan for $1,000, what's 10% of $1,000? It's saying it right down there, huh? 10% of $1,000, $100, right? So that's how much you can be paying on that interest. That's how much your interest payment is. So that column to the right is your interest payment, right? So you get a loan for $5,000, how much is your payment on a 10% interest rate? $500, right? $500 a month, right? So it's important to understand that because if you don't understand the interest, you don't understand how much you're paying back in interest by itself. Because what you'll look at is the sticker price. It's $5,000, right? That furniture is $5,000, right? But then it just happened to my daughter. My daughter that's 21 years old. It just happened to her furniture. She was about the furniture. The first thing I asked her, hey, what she treated so I had to show her the whole numbers and why it matters. And she had seen the total cost and why she's spending on interest. So what did you do?
That's why you guys sit there and read.
Yeah, but I still got it though, but I ain't had paid since today.
What the exact time of duration is? Like time?
'First thing is you can walk right there first, right? So which makes it easier for you to sit there and grasp it. So knowing what this woman is, when y'all start looking at you at this age, you're not gonna be scared. Because I feel like life's all about creativity.
All right, you have 3 minutes.
I mean, not everybody have bills to pay though. So I would say get a credit card first.
Yeah, if you starting off and you're like, somebody like me,
For 2,100. So, I'll show you this app. It's an app. It's called.
I can see some neat handwriting.
It's
neat, it's legible, it's legible.
what you teach when you
I teach high school.
Yeah.
It's different. They just ready to get out. They don't care.
I tuned her for years.
No. 3 years, 72 months. Right? So the loan amount is 1,200. You got financial charge. So it's 1,200, right, for the bid. And the entry rate was 21%, right? And the long term is 72 months. She's gonna be paying but it's over the course of 3 years, right? So that monthly payment is affordable, right? But then when you look at the total payment, how much you're paying, because the total payment, it don't seem like it's because you're only paying $30 a month. 3 years. But 3 years, yeah, that's how they get over, right? So for 3 years, so you're paying $119. But how much was the ticket price on the base? $800. So why you gonna pay $2,000? Oh, 3 years. Now you see what I'm saying? So that's where they get you at when they get you with that interest rate and the term. And if you miss it, if you miss the payment, it's gonna mess up your credit score. And some contracts, right, when you miss a payment, they say that's a default loan. Yeah, so they take now they can go up on the interest rate. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful with that as well. So this little app, that's it right. Easy Calculator. It's a blue one, yeah, it's blue. Look like this. Yeah, Easy Calculator. When you go into Easy Calculator, all you do, you're gonna see a bunch of the apps and go to Loan Calculator. There's another app too, it's called Loan Calculator. You just go right to it. You don't have to do all that. All right, we good. Good job.
All right. Yes.
The length of the time really makes a difference.
Yes.
It's like your payment is not a lie, but you pay on it for 10 years, like that one example with $10,000. You pay on it for 10 years, you can double it.
Yes. So do you really you gotta pay attention to not just this interest rate, everybody listen, not just the interest rate, but the duration that you're signing yourself up for that interest rate to understand that will the item still be worth its value that long ago, from that time. This group in the back, what's your one takeaway for your breakout session? Come on, time's running. Pay your bills on time. Pay your bills on time. Let me tell you, that small print, all this is tying together. When you fail to pay that credit card, let's just use American Express. Oh, okay, American Express or Lowe's. When you fail to pay that bill on time, which goes by the 20th of the month that is due, they have the right in the small print to take it to the highest market value rate or the interest or the APR for that market value at that time. They tell you that it can go as high as 31.99%. You sign up on a promotional deal for 0%. But you fail to pay attention to that failure to pay on time, automatically goes to 31.99%. And if that's okay with you for just that little bitty candy store ring, I'm just saying. Wait till you get there. Stop trying to be so flashy. Right front group up front. What? Right here. What we got? What's your one takeaway? Come on now.
He's ready. Come on.
All right. Time 7:53.
All right. You like the spotlight? Go ahead.
To build credit.
To build credit. And in order to build credit, it says right here, the young man in the back says you gotta pay on time. Because what is your financial resume? Your score, your credit report, your credit history. That's what it is. Last group before I turn you over to your survey sheet. What's your takeaway? Because I heard y'all throwing numbers over here, dropping zeros and carrying a one. What you got? You got this, give me my money back. Just take away. How to calculate your rates. I heard the group as I walked by, if you're paying 10% on $2,000, how much is that? $200. I heard them spending out like nobody. And the rule of thumb is drop to zero. Drop to zero. So that concludes this week about money talks. I hope the information that we gave you, you could use. If not right now, excuse me, then for later. If not for you, then for somebody else. You are an ambassador. Take this information back to your family and your friends. Invite them to a Wednesday night. That last sheet is a survey. I don't want one word on that doggone when it asks you for 50 characters or more. Tell me what we could do good, what we did good, what could be better, because someone's coming in after you, and what's something you wish that you had learned in this class. That's all right with everybody? Yes, ma'am. You'll pass it around to one of your facilitators, your survey sheets. Fill it out completely, write your names legibly. Good?
Paper is yours, clipboards and pens are
Clipboards and pens belong to Dr. Jackson. Don't forget.
Thank you, Christine.
You're very welcome. Do not forget to scan the barcode. Do not forget to talk to Jessica Bolton. She's available. There was somebody who needs to talk to her. Yeah, and Miss Tucker. Yeah, with Miss Bolton's in the back. Just clap it up and say congratulations.